Hello and welcome to Velocette Motorcycle Workshop episode 11. In this episode I'm going to be buggering around with the AMAC 15 MDY carburettor, trying to see if I can get my starting problem resolved, and I'll also be fitting the fuel tank to the bike. So if we take a quick look at it, see how we're getting on. So we've seen the bike running now, which is an amazing relief after like 8 years of trying to get there. So having this thing running is really good. I'm really pleased with that. It's taking a long time to start when the engine hasn't run for a few days or whatever. It's taking like 40 to 50 kicks maybe. So that's no good. So I know I've got a really good spark. Obviously that's been reconditioned, car's been reconditioned, timing should be good. So when it's running really nicely. The throttle's really responsive, there's no lag, delay, nothing. It just doesn't bog down, it's great. And then if I stop it and go for another start, no problem, first kick. So not quite sure, but I'm wondering whether when this is all warmed up, it's making it easier for it to go. I've tried it on a full throttle, and it does fire up into life, perhaps a little bit easier than going for a conventional start. So I'm kind of pondering if it's running a little bit rich, and when I've got it on the full throttle, you know, it's going to take in more air, so maybe that's helping. But also it's probably the pilot jet, which I don't know, like I say, whether I can get a replacement. So what I want to try and do is I just want to try and see whether this carb has got a needle that adjusts up or down, as in like sometimes I have a few notches, and I'm going to try and make it for like one more position down to see if making it a little bit leaner will help with the starting. Obviously I'm not so keen on that because it's going to affect the entire range of the carb, whereas I believe the main jet is fine, because like I say, once it's going, it's fine. So anyway, we'll see. Okay, so yes, it does have the slots, but the problem is it might already be on a fairly low setting. I can see 1, 2, possibly 3. So yeah, can only go down one more. Could only drop one more, so it's now on the very top notch, so it's the most down. Potentially it needs to go the other way then, but I want to try this and see how it comes along, because I suspect this being flooding. I think the spark plug looks fairly wet when I take it out. Maybe it just needs a good run, but I can't do that yet because obviously I'm not quite there yet. But I'm just trying to diagnose what's going on with this, and yeah, we'll have a look now that I drop that down another notch. But like I say, it's not ideal with it being on the bottom setting. Alright, so obviously I said about the needle, I've adjusted that now so it's down on the lowest setting, so the leanest setting. I have been told it won't affect the pilot jet, what I'm doing with this needle, but it's still worth a try. So I just need to find top dead center, and then we'll go for a kick. And if I try like 2 or 3 kicks and it doesn't run, I'm going to change that needle to the middle setting, and then if it still doesn't run, I'll try and source pilot jet, because I want it in the middle position anyway, ideally. And we'll just tickle the carb as well. Well, that's full jet of fuel out of there, so let's see. No. Okay, so that hasn't worked. I'll try the middle position next, see how we get on with that. Alright, middle needle position now, see how we get on with this. Possibly a little bit better. So what we do, I'm going to give it a little bit of the choke as well. I'll give it no throttle now. Give it it full choke, just in case. Right, let's try with the full throttle, because that has worked in the past. I still don't understand really why that's working, other than the fact it bypasses pilot. Right, full throttle. What I want to do next is fit my fuel tank on here. So I've got some synthetic grease, which I think, what does it say on it? Yeah, synthetic grease. I think should be silicone based, because the rubber, I don't want it to deteriorate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some silicone grease on these, put them into place, and if they fall off when I put the tank on, then, well, it is what it is, isn't it? Right, the big rubber's on the top. Now, annoyingly, there's a clamp back here, probably won't be able to come out, that this pin at the front for the pivot point of the saddle goes through. Annoyingly, I can't leave that in its position to get the tank on. So the bolts that come up underneath, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get to them, because everything's in the way. So we'll figure that out in a minute. So these bolts, I would normally put copper slip on the end. But there's a lot of the silicone grease up in there, so I kind of feel it'd be alright. Yeah. Washer problem. So obviously the engineer had these, something I've mentioned before, and you need these. So obviously the washer's fitted, no problem, but they don't fit these, so yeah, we'll sort that out. Already put all my silicone grease on that. Try and redo this seat clamp thing I was on about. So I'd put a little bit of masking tape back here so I could see where it was going to be, but still very difficult to get to the bolts. So I managed to nip up that clamp under there, pretty difficult. This I think should be my bolt to go through, and I'm just going to apply, may not look that clean, but some fresh copper slip on here. Probably don't need that much to be fair. Just going to put that on there. And then I'm going to put some regular grease on the rest of it. That's going to, where it's going to pivot. Some regular grease back here. Don't really want the copper slip there because it's slightly abrasive, but as I push it through, it's no doubt going to bring it through.